Hello, everyone. So here is example one. We're going to read this situation and then figure out what part of the graph represents whatever context and scenario this is talking about. So here's the situation. Lauren graphed the relationship between how many days had passed since she planted a cactus and its height in centimeters. What feature of the graph represents how tall the cactus was when Lauren planted it? So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about the situation and try to visualize it. And so I'm looking at the graph and I'm seeing that this is talking about a cactus and the graph is moving up. So I can imagine that maybe since it's moving up, the height is increasing, so the cactus is growing. I also see this x-axis down here and this y-axis over here. So the y-axis tells us how high, like how the height of the cactus for each day, and then this tells us how many days the cactus is growing. And this part right here, this is 0. So at 0 days, the cactus is at a certain height. Now, what feature of the graph represents how tall the cactus was when Lauren planted it? So if we're looking at the slope doesn't tell us a specific part of the graph. It just tells us like the rate of change. So the rate of the growth. So we want to know like when she planted it, so that's not helpful. The x-intercept is when the graph crosses this x-axis down here, and I actually don't see it on here at all. So I'm going to write not on graph because there's no part of this situation where it's crossing this horizontal axis. And then we have the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept is right here, and the y-intercept is usually the initial value or the beginning of something. And the beginning of the situation was the cactus being planted, and that's what the question's asking us for. So our answer is C.